A warm welcome to all the listeners. Listen to the Blue Horse. Dr.C.K.N. is in conversation with Pooja. I'm sure you'll enjoy this session, and I'm sure it's going to be some food for your thought.
Hello everybody, welcome to the podcast with the Blue Horse. Hello doctor.
Hi.
Today I have an interesting topic. What is the future of agriculture? And what I wanted to tell you is today's agriculture is all about using efficiently the natural resources like water, land and energy. So what is the future of agriculture?
You want to know what is future of agriculture?
Yeah.
Future of agriculture is going to be goddamn crazy. It's already crazy.
Okay.
See, mankind need to produce food. One of the tools is agriculture, right?
Yes.
So as you said, land, water is energy is required. Energy is from the sun.
Yeah.
Not the energy what you produce.
Okay.
So we were doing quite safe agriculture till 1960, 1950, 1960. So it was basically a natural way of agriculture. So the agriculture is based on the strength of the soil.
Okay.
With respect to microorganisms. Because this world belongs to microorganisms. So it's the microorganisms of the soil which support the agriculture, the plant growth, and required nitrogen to the plantation is fed through the microbes.
Okay.
So it is good. Natural resource of water comes from rain, right? So it gets stored in ponds and it runs through the river and all that stuff. So the rainwater has got its own potency and power.
To grow the crops and plants.
Yeah, so this is one. And we were using natural manures like cow dung and all that stuff. Okay. Now, when it comes to the question of, enriching the soil, what they do is at least 6 months in a year, they expose it to the sun god. They do agriculture only for 6.
Okay.
Say, for example, if you take southern part of India, they grow rice, paddy, over a span of, takes about 6 months. After the yield, they leave it open. There is one plant called channa. It's called auri in Tamil. They seed that after the harvest of paddy. It will grow. It has unique calcium in the roots. Okay? When the season comes, they just water the land and blow it with the plant. It's a plant only. It will grow, say, about 2 feet height or 3 feet height, whatever. It will enrich the soil. And the sunshine on the soil enrich the soil. We are yet to study how much of nutrients are produced with the photosynthesis falling on our skin for our human body. We are yet to study that. So the sun really scorches the land and make the soil rich. These are all the important stuff what happens naturally. Okay.
So yet we need to study a lot about the sun.
Yeah. We have yet to study anything.
Okay.
We have hardly studied the basics. Now what has happened is when our population started growing, we needed to produce more food. So we came out with this agricultural revolution by introducing chemically based fertilizer, right?
Yeah.
And we were also forced to produce more food. And more agriculture turned to big time business. So what happened is we started producing more food. So we never left the land dry.
Okay.
So we go on producing something or the other through the year. So the soil was not enriched, right?
Okay.
Then a huge amount of fertilizers and pesticides were used. So I'll tell you, for example, the first set of urea which came from Japan in India to the Kadalur port in Tamil Nadu. That was the first urea reached the Indian soil. From there on, in 15 years, our agriculture turned to urea-based agriculture. Okay?
From which year?
From 1960 to 1975, 15 years. So how this urea is produced? Petroleum. So as we extract crude from the ground, we get a lot of methane gas. In processing the crude, converting them into petrol in the refineries also, we get methane. And the methane gas is mixed with ammonia and, added with CO2, carbon dioxide. It becomes ammonium dicarbonate, whatever. That is your urea. That's a process for making urea.
Okay.
Because so much of methane is coming as we extract petrol, that is a crude oil from all parts of the world. Wherever you see the refinery, there will be a fertilizer unit.
Okay.
So when we use lot of this urea, what it gives natural no, it will not give natural nitrogen, it will give artificial nitrogen to the plant.
Okay.
The
And
plant,
it kills,
plant grows faster.
and it kills all the insects.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
It will spoil all your microorganisms in the soil.
Okay.
Because of that, the plant kingdom has become very weak. The plant has its own vigor, you know. When there are insects and pesticides, pests are going to attack it, you know, as the plant grows, they know. They are also live, you know. They immediately produce certain smells where the pests don't come close to the plant because pests go by pheromones. They're called pheromones. So these chemicals are natural chemical is produced by the plant to keep the pest away. That is the vigor of the plant which was lost because of the soil, lost its potency of strength of the microorganism by using urea day in and day out, year after year. The microorganisms of the soil got spoiled and the plant kingdom lost its vigor. So after 1975, after 15-20 years of excessive use of all types of chemical-based fertilizers, petroleum-based fertilizers and chemical-based fertilizers, plant kingdom has become weak, so the pests started attacking it. So when the pests started attacking the plant, we were losing our yield. So we were forced to use a lot of pesticide as the pest attacked the plant to save the yield. So that has contaminated the soil again, along with the fertilizer. So by 1990, the soil has become very, very weak.
It means that we got addicted to the use of fertilizer.
It is not we got addicted, we got stuck.
Okay.
You can use that word addicted, but we got stuck. Where we got stuck is if you don't put urea now, we cannot
Get the yield.
get the yield.
Yeah.
See, if I am going to produce paddy in 1 acre, I should get minimum 35 to 40 bags after the harvest. If I am going to get 10 or 15, it's a loss for me.
Yeah.
So I am forced to use. If I don't use modern day these chemical based fertilizers, then I am in deep trouble.
I have a doubt. Is it true that like the yield was lesser when we were using the natural?
No, the yield was good enough when we were before turned ourselves to all chemical based.
Okay.
Now, because of this, what has happened is, after 1990, the soil have become very, very weak because of both chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So,
We get good yield, but we don't get the quality of the
the
plant
agricultural output was not good.
Yeah.
After 1990, we were forced to go in for hybrid.
Is it
hybrid is the seeds.
genetically modified?
Yeah, no, not genetically modified. These are hybrid is different.
Okay.
GMO is different.
Okay.
So, lot of genetic, hybrid seeds have come. All the old conventional seeds have gone. So, you produce bigger size vegetables. You got it?
Okay.
So that your yield is more. Something like that. So, that has further spoiled our soil. Again, it had an impact. Then the GMO.
Okay.
By the turn of millennium 2000, lot of genetically modified crops.
What is
But
it?
genetically modified means they totally play with the chromosome of the seeds.
What is the difference between the hybrid and GMO?
Hybrid is something which is manipulation of the chromosome structure in the seed, and which is normally gives you,
Bigger size.
more yield and things like that.
Okay.
A bigger size and all that stuff.
Okay.
You see, your tomatoes are bigger in size. Your brinjal is bigger in size, like that kind of thing. So, a plant, if it is going to give you a few kgs of tomatoes, it is going to give more kgs of tomatoes.
Okay.
Something like that. GMO is totally different. Genetically modified. In genetically modified, what they tried is that they will have the seed control. Your plant will not produce seeds. So it's weaponized that I need to depend on you for my seeds.
Okay.
I cannot produce my own seeds. That is a different aspect altogether.
Okay.
Because of all these things, the petroleum lobby was so big, the chemical fertilizer lobby had become very huge.
Okay.
Today we are in 2024. So nearly about 10 to 12% of the Indian agricultural land is not fit enough to do agriculture. Even if you put urea, it cannot give you the yield.
Oh.
The soil is completely spoiled. There are surveys have been made by government-oriented institutions and agricultural departments. They found that the land, agricultural land, was spoiled. The soil has become bad from the top surface to 70 feet down. Some places even 120 feet.
Okay.
You can imagine how much of
Chemicals.
because we've been doing this in the last maybe 70, 80 years. All over the world, maybe 80 years and beyond in many of the countries in the world, and maybe 60 years or so, 60 plus years or so in India.
It has become unfit for agriculture anymore.
Yeah. Now see the problem, the magnitude of food requirement is big now because of the population. We are producing somewhere around 750 million metric ton of paddy rice every year. We are producing something like 180 to 200 million metric ton of sugar. We are producing something like 500 to 600 million metric tons of wheat. We are producing more than 400 to 450 metric ton of milk. That is dairy. That is grow those cattle, those cows, and milk them around. Dairy farms. So the amount of vegetables required, especially onions, if you take Indian subcontinent, we use onion every day. 140 crore people, 14 billion, okay?
What about the organic farming? Have you heard about it? It's been happening with you.
Organic farming, now suddenly people have realized.
Is that a way to recover from all these?
See, we represent out of 8 billion population, we represent 1.4 billion. And we use onions. Little bit the price goes up. It becomes a huge crisis for the people. And it will also go up to the level of political issue, okay? Now vegetables, oil seeds, fruits, grains, pulses, how much is required? So you're asking about organic.
Yeah.
Now suddenly people have realized the kind of, grains, pulses and vegetables, all those, what we purchase for our daily usage to cook our food is not good enough because of the chemical oriented agriculture, right?
Yeah.
So soil is also gone bad, lost almost, there's no earthworms nowadays. It's all been killed because of urea and all that. So the agricultural output is not strong enough. The excessive potassium and nitrogen found in our grains because of using chemical fertilizer or causing a lot of health hazard. So organic. So what people realize, we go back to what we were before 1950s, right?
Yeah.
Don't use these kind of fertilizers, don't use any pesticide, go for natural pesticide. Like neem oil is a very good pesticide. You can spray. It was being handled those days, and even nowadays they do it. But then everybody suddenly realized they wanted to go for organic.
Yeah,
so organic, what they're doing now
is that a best way to recover our old methodology of?
No, you cannot do organic immediately to start with.
It takes a period of time to get back everything.
A Saturn in our astrological science takes 30 years for a rotation of crossing all the 12 Rasi houses. So 30 years you have to put your land open to sky without touching it for the rain and the sun to, shine on it. It will completely change your land, make it rich enough with the microbial part of the soil and also the earthworm back in action. Then your soil becomes fit enough for organic agriculture. At the moment what they are doing is, I won't call it as an organic agriculture because the soil has no strength at all. But they are not using chemical-based fertilizer. They are not doing any pesticide and all that. Slowly, the land has to recover. Suppose you have a land, you just leave it off for 30 years. 30 years is too long a period. We cannot leave all the land open without doing any agriculture. Then we will go short of food, right?
Is that the only way possible?
I don't know. It's a crazy situation at the moment because there is a statistics which says by 2050, we are going to reach 1,000 crore population in the world. Now the 8 billion is going to become 10 billion, right?
Yeah.
Then your food need is going to be more. But amount of fossil fuel used, that is harvesting crude oil for our petroleum need, that is going to give us so much of methane gas. And what are we going to do with that? We've been using millions and tons of these methane gas for producing urea and these agricultural fertilizers. We are stuck there, right? Now, The problem is really in a big magnitude. And the amount of water that we are using for our agriculture is also now becoming a big challenge, because many parts of the world, the weather situation is so fluctuating that they run out of water. The basic water is required for a person for drinking and cooking, for household and all that, right? For the daily living. But imagine the amount of water required for the agriculture, which is going to produce your food, and that's going to be the backbone of your life. So future agriculture is really a question mark. It's not going to be so easy. We are facing multiple challenges, but we need food. 8 billion population, which is slowly and steadily growing. The nature has to support us. Whether the nature will be kind enough to support us is based on your scientific revolution has brought us forward in the last 70-80 years to a situation, and that situation is so crazy. And who is going to turn around and change this scenario and then go into the right path? It is like too many cook will spoil the dish, something like that. We are being, thinking that we were smart enough without understanding the mother nature, and we have really made a mess of a situation at the moment. And how we are going to get out of this situation, and then at the same time make sure that enough of food is produced with respect to grains, pulses, vegetables, seeds and so on. And then, make sure that the food is available for all people in the world living. It's going to be a real question mark. The future agricultural scenario is going to really face a huge amount of hardship with respect to economics also. All over the world, the agricultural people are started revolting that they are not getting enough money for their produce, with all the struggle that they are doing and producing the food to all the people in the world. Everywhere, Europe, you can see recently in the last 3 months, there's so much of agitation is going on. So what's going to be the future of agriculture? That we are going to be responsible for it, and what we are going to do from here on is only a challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. That was so informative and interesting. Thank you all for listening. Meet you all on another interesting podcast.